All right, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate the SBC putting on this coaching clinic this evening. It's fascinating to see what's happened here over the last 5 years or so as the SBC has expanded and all of the neat things that you guys have done as ADs and officials of the SBC. And I appreciate all the work you guys do. It is definitely a special conference. For those of you that aren't familiar with me, I was the AD at Margaretta for 5 years as we were going through that stretch when we were looking at the expansion of the SBC. I've also taught high school level math at Margaretta and Bellevue prior to that. And then currently, as Andrew shared earlier, I serve as the principal at Townsend Community School. And what that is a dropout prevention high school for students who have fallen a little bit off track. And we are sponsored by Margaretta High School or Margaretta Local Schools. This evening, I want to share some of my knowledge and experiences from my 17 years of coaching, in addition to my career in education and teaching and administration. And I want to focus my message more towards our first and second year coaches and also some of our other junior high coaches. So I've had the opportunity to coach at the junior high level as well as the high school level throughout my coaching career. I got my start back in 2003. My good friend Steve Keller Jr. got me in his program helping with the 8th grade boys over at Clyde Middle School that year. And, one of the first things I realized is I had a lot to learn. And I think as newer coaches, we have to go in with that mindset and don't walk into a coaching situation thinking that we know everything there is to know about coaching already. We have to admit that there's a lot to learn, and we have to kind of have that mindset that we want to be continuous learners as we grow as coaches. The second thing for newer coaches is keep in mind that coaching is not all about me. It's not all about you, the coach. It's about the kids. And, if you're in it for your own glory, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Make sure that you go into coaching for the right reasons. And we go into coaching so that we can help our young student athletes to grow and become the best version of themselves in the classroom, on the court, on the playing field, and also in society. So it's about the kids, it's not about us. Third thing for our newer coaches is keep in mind that winning is not everything, especially when you're coaching at the middle school level. It's more about teaching life lessons along the way, developing fundamentals, building positive character, and preparing those kids for the next level, getting them ready for the high school level. That's more important than winning.
It looks like you're not even talking.
Another thing, as a newer coach, and even as you are become a more experienced coach, it's very important to find some seasoned veterans that you can learn from as mentors. Through my time of coaching, which mostly has taken place at Margaretta and Bellevue,
because I don't like
I've been blessed to work with many seasoned veteran coaches over my 17 years of coaching, and I've learned a lot from several other coaches along the way, and I've tried to incorporate some of those things into what I do as a coach up to this day. It is very important, I think, that we do learn from other coaches. We try to pick up those bits and pieces of what they do well, how they run their practices, how they interact with their players, how they manage games, and then try to incorporate some of those good pieces and experiences into your own coaching with student athletes. Always try to be a sponge and soak up as much information as possible, learn from others. There's a lot of great resources online, a lot of great videos, clinics such as this, as well as others. Just try to be a continuous learner. All right, so what makes coaching middle school athletes unique? Well, let's look at the two other opposite ends here. We've got elementary athletics, all right, when students are second grade, third grade, fourth grade. It's about having fun. It's about equal playing time for all. Parents are usually pretty happy at the elementary level. As we progress up, that changes sometimes. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. High school sports, all right? When we're looking at high school sports, things become extremely more competitive, and your top performing athletes are going to earn the most playing time, and so there's a drastic change from elementary to high school. Middle school is caught somewhere in the middle. Okay, we're still developing those skills where we want to keep kids interested in the sport that they're in. We want to also provide opportunities for every kid to have a chance to grow and better themselves. But at the same time, we're trying to balance that out with teaching them that playing time is earned as well. As a coach personally, right now I am coaching again at the junior high level, which is where I started, I said earlier, at Clyde. Right now I'm coaching the 8th grade girls at Margaretta, and this will be my 5th year in a row doing that this coming year. And, you know, it's my philosophy to try to get every kid into every game. I will admit that there's usually 1 or 2 games during the season where that doesn't happen, where we get, you know, that game that comes down the wire, and I want to get everyone in, but sometimes it doesn't quite happen. But I do make sure the following game that player does get in the game, because these kids are 7th and 8th graders. They're working hard, and they deserve to at least get in the contest. You know, and if they don't get in one, I want to make sure the next time they get in, so that they don't go a full week without getting an opportunity to play. So, you know, everybody's got a little bit of different philosophy on that, but I think at the middle school level, it is important that everyone has an opportunity to play. But with that being said, the quantity of playing time has to be earned. So I'm not saying that everyone should have equal playing time. The quantity of playing time is earned. We also need to keep in mind here with middle school athletes that they're going through a lot of changes, a lot of physical changes, mental changes, a lot of social changes, a lot of hormones going on. The boys are starting to recognize the girls are starting to recognize the boys, and so forth a little bit more. Yeah. And we need to be patient and understanding with these student athletes as they're going through a lot of these physical, mental, and social changes. And don't forget to have a good sense of humor, because they're going to do some crazy things from day to day. They're going to say things that are completely out in left field, and you gotta take it in stride and have a good sense of humor when working with middle school athletes. All right, so what is the purpose of middle school athletics? Well, first of all, one purpose is to create a positive experience for these young men and women, build these kids up, encourage them, and help them to build confidence in themselves. And also, you know, we need to bring that positive energy to the practice setting and create an environment that allows kids to be excited to show up at practice. We want to keep these kids interested and keep them in the sport as they progress in high school, where things do get more competitive. But we want to keep the numbers up at the junior high level moving forward into high school. We also, at the middle school level, want to teach values of a strong work ethic, teamwork, and sportsmanship. These are very important things. These life lessons will carry on much further than just athletics, and these traits will benefit these student athletes in the classroom and also in life beyond school. Another purpose of middle school athletics is to develop the appropriate skill set in preparation for the high school level. We want to focus on teaching the fundamentals of the game in whatever sport we're coaching, and teach the right practice habits. Teach kids how to practice. Teach them how to come every day with the right mindset of working hard and doing things the right way and doing things the way they're asked. And that will make the transition to the high school level so much easier. As a middle school coach, you also want to be in tune with what your high school coach is doing, the varsity coach, and try to incorporate those philosophies of your head varsity coach at the junior high level, so that everything flows from junior high on up into high school. And the student athletes get into high school and they know what to expect from the coaching staff and a daily practice routine. At the junior high level, as coaches, whatever level you're at, you know, we love to win, right? But winning is not everything, as I said earlier. Winning at the middle school level is just icing on top of the cake. For the past 4 years, I've been blessed to work with some really hardworking girls, and over those 4 years, our 8th grade girls team has been fortunate to only lose 4 games. But with that being said, while winning's been extremely fun for these kids, winning is not everything. What's more important is that these young ladies have had a positive experience going through junior high. They've stayed interested in sport. They want to maintain being a part of the program at the high school level, and that they've developed the appropriate skills in order to be successful moving on in the system at the high school level. And also, as I said earlier, it's more important that they learn those valuable life lessons that will carry through with them beyond just athletics. A few final items here. it's very important as coaches, whatever level you're at, whatever your experience level is to be a very good communicator. You need to communicate well with players, with parents, with fellow coaches, and also with the AD and administration. As a coach, you want to be extremely organized, clear with your communication of scheduled practices, practice times, that is, bus times, games. Be very clear so that there's no question there with parents and players, and you eliminate confusion. Also, as a coach, you want to make sure you have a preseason meeting with your parents and clearly outline the expectations for the upcoming season with them so that everybody's on the same page and you try to be proactive and get a step ahead of things before the season starts. And also, always keep your varsity coach and AD in the loop if there's anything unusual that does pop up so that they do not get blindsided by parents or players or another school calling with a complaint. As a coach, you always want to prepare for practices. Don't just try to wing it. You want to set aside sufficient time to put together a well thought out, organized practice plan on a daily basis. What this is going to allow you to do is be much more efficient with your practice time and accomplish the goals that you have set out for that day's practice. Additionally, this is going to let you and the other coaches at your level be able to work from the same page when it comes to running practice, because everyone will have a copy of that practice plan. So it's good to be organized, have things scripted out on paper, and have that guide, that practice plan on a daily basis. A few final things here. As a coach, whether you're at middle school or wherever you're at, whether you're a rookie coach or you're a veteran, just be positive, be a motivator, and build confidence in your student athletes. I try to live by the 2-to-1 ratio, where we try to give 2 praises for every 1 critique that we give our student athletes, so that a majority of the time students are hearing positive feedback. There's times where we obviously have to give criticism, but when you balance that out with more positive, more praise, that 2-to-1 ratio, that goes a long way for them buying into when you do critique them. So build your kids up and help them to believe in themselves, be positive. Let your players know that you are in their corner and that you have their back beyond just athletics. And then finally, one thing I really enjoy is take pride in watching your student athletes grow and blossom in the years beyond junior high when you coach them, and know that you've made a positive difference in their lives. With that being said, it was short and sweet, but do you guys have any questions for me?
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan. We appreciate that. And just so everybody knows, at the end of tonight's clinic, I'll be sending out an email with all of the speakers' email addresses. And if any of the attendees want to contact the speakers and ask them questions, they will certainly have the opportunity to do that.